is Wednesday, June 1st. Zach and I are here and very excited to talk about what has happened these last few days. We have baseball news from around the league, as well as our list of the top 10 shortstops. In the NHL playoffs, the conference finals have begun. The NBA finals matchup is set, and one of us predicted it.
Okay.
I'm proud of it.
I got the Warriors in the finals.
And then lastly, we are on to the NFC South, as today we have the New Orleans Saints to discuss. Zach, you been doing all right?
I've been doing good. I've been to this past weekend on Memorial Day. I went to 2 Cardinal games, one on Saturday, one on Memorial Day. And I think I'm the lucky charm because they have won every game I've been to this year, which is 3-0. And as I was telling AJ before, I'm also Nolan Gorman's lucky charm because he went 4 for 4 on Saturday. Me and Colin both went to that game. And then on Memorial Day, he went 3 for 3. So
yeah.
And that home run he hit, his first career home run,
like 450 or something.
It was destroyed. It was one of the longest home runs I think I've seen in Busch Stadium, and I've seen a lot of home runs.
Yeah, I wasn't watching it live because I think that was the day. Was that before Memorial? That was the Saturday.
That was on Saturday, yes. Memorial Day, he hit another one.
So that was the day I was in Alabama for that wedding, but I saw a video and he was pimping it pretty good.
Yeah.
Like he knew it right when he got it. But did you see it today?
Oh yeah. I got 3. They're all sports related. All related to the Cardinals too.
Okay. Right on.
I sent them to you guys, but do you have any?
I don't.
Classics.
I know. I literally need to get on that.
Okay, my first one was, so I sent this tweet to AJ and Conlon, and it was MLB attendance per game average. Number 1 was the Dodgers, 47,716 people per game, which makes sense because they're a gigantic city and they have a huge stadium. Second, us, the Cardinals, with 38,831. And then third was the Braves, and then fifth was the Yankees. They didn't put fourth on it. But then it shows those top 4 and us second, and then it shows underneath like the cities and how many people, the population of the city and the surrounding areas. New York City, 20.4 million, Los Angeles, 18.78 million, Atlanta, 6.93 million, and then St. Louis, 2.77 million, which I think is pretty cool. How we always have the top attendance per game, even though we're one of the smaller cities in the major leagues. So it just shows how we are the best fans in baseball.
Yeah.
If you want any beef, take it up with AJ.
Yeah.
And then my next one, this one to me was kind of mind-boggling to me when I sent this to you guys. It was, so last night Adam Wainwright pitched to Jim, and he should have got the win, but Gallegos sucked.
Yeah.
But he had 10 strikeouts, and it was his 13th game in his career with 10 strikeouts. And it tied him for third most in Cardinals history with Steve Carlton. Number 2 is Chris Carpenter with 14. So Wainwright could get to second this year. And then it's like, oh, can he get to first? Hell no, because Bob Gibson's number 1 was 74.
Yeah.
I'm still shocked. It just shows how Bob Gibson arguably could be the best pitcher ever.
I was just thinking that.
Like he was so dominant that they had to change the mound.
Yep.
Like that's just nuts. That's crazy. And then my last one was this tweet that I just thought was funny. So John Heyman on Twitter, he's an MLB guy. He says some stuff that's kind of stupid, but he tweeted, I don't remember when this was. I don't know. But it said Paul Goldschmidt is unstoppable, MVP candidate. And then this Mets account guy, he said, yeah, so is Betts, Machado, and of course Alonso. Even if the season ends today, too much to factor. We have about 112 games left. So the real question is, who do you want starting at first base for the NL at the All-Star game? And so he put like a voting thing. Pete Alonso got 9%. Paul Goldschmidt got 91% of the votes, and there was 1,192 votes. So I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. There's no way Pete Alonso's getting that spot over Goldie, unless Goldie just falls off like crazy.
Unless he dies.
Yeah. I did find one. It was that Jordan Bennington interview. Did you guys see that at all?
Yeah. Colin sent that to us.
Yeah. So he admitted that he threw the water bottle at Kadri after the
I wish you'd have thrown like a a metal ball at his head.
Oh, apparently it didn't even hit Kadri.
No, it like when
yeah,
like you can't throw the water bottle has to be completely full to have good aerodynamics. Like if it's that looked a little flat and squished, it's not gonna fly as well.
Yeah, no, he said he threw it, and he actually described it as a God-given opportunity to throw it at him. So Benner being petty as ever, but we can get on to our top 10 shortstops here. I had more than a couple honorable mentions because, I mean, we were talking off air when we were making our list. This is a crazy.
It's pretty deep, a lot deeper than people think. Because when you think of who's the greatest shortstop of all time, obviously Derek Jeter, but I still think Derek Jeter's a little like he had a great year.
Would you say he's the best ever?
Probably not. I think a lot of people say. I'm trying to think of other shortstops. Didn't like Honus Wagner play shortstop?
Yeah. Ozzy's best defensively.
Oh yeah, but there's not a lot of guys like at first base. You just like guys who just like dominate hitting and defensively. But looking at this list, I was like, dang, a lot of these guys are super good.
Did you have honorable mentions?
I guess J.P. Crawford.
Okay. Yeah, so I put Jeremy Pena for the Astros. He's a rookie, so he doesn't have like the background to be in the top 10 yet, but I think he'll get there. Dansby Swanson is another we talked about. He just doesn't hit well enough and working like
he had hit good last year. He just had a low average and low on base.
Didn't he have a lot of power last year?
He had like 24 homers and 88 RBIs.
And he was the number one pick in the draft a few years back. Willie Adames was another honorable mention that I had. Really just had that one breakout year last year though.
Yeah.
And then JP Crawford. I hated not putting JP Crawford on this list because JP's having a tremendous year hitting wise, but for the Mariners, and he's one of the best defensive shortstops in baseball. But these 10 groups or 10 guys are absolutely crazy. You want to get us started this time?
Sure. You want me to go first?
Yeah. Again, I haven't seen your list for people listening.
Yeah, you didn't cheat this time.
No.
Looking at list.
I'm
so number 10, Wander Franco.
Okay.
I picked him at 10 just because his debut was like in the middle of last season. So he played 70 games last year and he's played 45 this year. I just think he literally could be top 3 or number 1 at some point. He's just very small sample size. And I think he could be top 5 by next year. He's batting 270 this year, his on base is not as high as I thought it was. 305 on base, 4 home runs, 19 RBI. So he kind of needs to step it up if he wants to get higher on my rankings.
Yeah.
And he's a plus defender too. He's a really good defender, I believe, if I find the fielding. Yeah.
So Wander was my number 10 as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Like you said, 4 homers, 19 RBIs, 270 average. OPS is 727. That's not as high as I thought it was. And that counts the on base.
Yeah.
But yeah, a guy that's got potential to be top 5, maybe even by the end of the year. Top 3 in the future and could be number 1. He's only 20?
Yeah, he's super young.
Ridiculous.
He started off this year really hot, and then he just kind of cooled down.
Did he come in like a what's that international draft? Was he one of those? I think he was.
Maybe.
I think he was signed internationally. But yeah, he's going to be a stud for many years to come. He could be a top 5 player in baseball for years to come. So
he's dynamic.
Yeah, he was my number 10 as well. So we're off to a good start.
My number 9, Tim Anderson. I don't know if
that was the name I was talking about.
What, you have him way high?
I have him so high.
Well, AJ's stupid. So Tim Anderson, he's having a great year. Like, he's a great hitter. Like, he's up here, but I think these other players are like solid hitters and better defensively and just better overall players. Tim Anderson, he's hitting 356 this year.
Yeah.
393 on base. 5 homers, 19 RBIs. Super amazing. He hit 309 last year. He has a career batting average of 290. My biggest knock on him is he's not that great at defense.
No. Yeah.
Not good at defense, and also a big like measuring point. Oh, sick. The Cardinals won. Okay, good.
They were trying to choke it.
Yes. Yeah. He's not great at defense, and a big measuring point that people use is WAR, and he's played 7 years and only has 18.9 WAR.
Yeah.
When a lot of these other players have way higher WAR. Like, he's a great player. Like, he's a great average guy. not amazing power, but he's like probably like the best leadoff hitter you could have,
I'm laughing because
or one of the best leadoff
I'm
hitters.
just prepared for the roast that I'm gonna get from you whenever you see him on my list. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Do you just have him up there high because he's
I
on Lance Lynn's team?
I like him a lot.
No, I like him.
But I will admit I agree that he's not that great defensively, and I don't know if it's more a fielding or an arm thing because he's athletic as can be.
Yeah, he's very.
So it surprises me that he is that poor defensively.
He's also not. He is not. He has good on base percentage because he hits.
Yeah.
He has.
Oh yeah.
He does not get that many walks. He only walked 22 times last year.
Yeah.
That's not. That's not.
Yeah, I know. And what was his average last year?
309.
Okay, that's better than I thought it was. My number 9 was Trevor Story. Terrible start in Boston. We mentioned last week, I think he got really hot in this last week and a half.
He's been hot.
But 9 homers, 37 RBIs. He's only batting 220 and a 744 OPS. And I don't believe in for him, I don't believe in the Colorado factor. I think I don't know if he's gonna bat 290, 300 like he was doing, but he's gonna bat higher than 220. And I think with Boston, it's more of a mental thing because if you start off cold, they were on him like crazy. So
it's Boston. They've been so successful, so they have high expectations.
Yeah, and they're not afraid of telling it how it is in Boston.
No, so. Which, if you think about it, it's kind of like it sucks, but in the same way, it's kind of they kind of deserve to be.
Yeah. But no, I would say probably 3 years ago he'd probably be closer to my top 5. But I have him there because not just so much that he's dropped off, but the players that are above him on my list are just insane.
Yeah, I agree. What are we on, 8?
Yeah.
I have Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
Not Bichette, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bichette.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8. He's going to be a star for a long time. He had a great, super good year last year. He batted 298, 343 on base, hit 29 homers, 102 RBIs, and had 25 stolen bases. And finished 12th in MVP voting. All-star, did that all at 23, which is pretty incredible. Mm-hmm. And he's having he's struggling a little bit right now, but his average and all, it has to come up.
He's even picked it up from where he was because he had a terrible start.
Yeah, and he's just so crucial to the Toronto's lineup in general, and he just gets them going. And when all their guys are going, it's great to watch. And he's not an amazing defender, but I would think he would improve a little bit as he gets older.
He's another one of those super athletes.
Yeah, he's very athletic.
So Bo is my number 8.
Nice
as well. This year 7 homers, 24 RBIs, 257 average, 718 OPS, and like I said before, that average has jumped up a ton from where he was. I try to catch as many. I actually have a Blue Jays shirt on right now, but I try to catch as many Blue Jays games as I can.
Trader. Turncoat.
No, Cardinals for life always, but
except when he's wearing the Blue Jays.
But yeah, he's picked it up a ton from where he was, and he, like you said, he bats second in that lineup, so he gets everything going for them. Because oftentimes George Springer's leading off with a homer or something crazy. So he gets it going for the guys like Vladdy and I'm trying to think, Gurriel's behind
Teoscar Hernandez.
Teoscar, yeah. So.
And 29 homers for shortstop is pretty dang good.
He's kind of like Franco for me, that he could be a top 5 guy.
Oh, for sure.
Very young.
My number 7 is a lot of people who think he's like an amazing shortstop, send a big year, Corey Seeger. To me, I think he's very overrated. He had 2 good years when he was 22 and 23, where he hit basically around 300. Basically had almost the same stats for each year. 300, 25 homers, 70-some RBIs. But other than that, he just is very injury prone and is basically hurt all the time. And he had a solid year last year, but I just think the guys above him are better. And I don't think he's an amazing defender as well.
Mm-hmm. Corey Seager was my number 7.
Good.
This is crazy. This is like a monumental day. We don't agree like this usually. Corey Seager, now in Texas. I don't know if you mentioned that, but he
Yeah, he's sucking, or he's playing all right.
he's
playing
got
all right.
the more power. I would say. I don't know if that's a Texas thing compared to LA, but
Yeah, Texas is hotter. The ball travels.
yeah,
I
and
think LA's usually a pitcher's ballpark.
yeah,
It's pretty big.
it's big. But he's got 11 homers already this year, and his career high was 26 homers in 2016. Besides that, in 2017, he had 22 homers. But besides those 2 years, he hasn't hit over 20. A lot of that has to do with injuries.
He's since 2017, he's only had 1 year where he played over 100 games.
Yeah.
There was the COVID year. He played the majority of the COVID year, but other than that,
Yeah, 52 of those 60 games. And that was the year they won the World Series, and he got World Series MVP.
asterisks.
Yeah. But definitely, I mean, I don't know if we can't have him not in our top 10. And he's more proven than I would say the guys that we had below him, besides Story. But
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, I'm not super high on him either. He's only batting 232 this year. I think that'll raise into his normal like 270, 280 range. But yeah, he was my number 7.
I have Trevor Story as number 6. So kind of around the same area as you did. Where'd you have him? 8?
9.
9. Okay. That was I think Trevor Story's proven he had 3 years where he was 8th in MVP voting, 12th, and then 11th, and like he's MVP caliber player when he's on. And as we've seen in the last few weeks when he's been hot, he's been incredible. I think he's a really good hitter. Obviously, hits for a lot of power at the shortstop. He's also pretty fast and can steal some bases, and is a solid defender. I believe he doesn't have a Gold Glove, but I think he's had, on Baseball Reference. I think I'm looking at the right defensive run saved. He doesn't. All of them are positive. Like he hasn't had a year where they've been negative. Which, to me, you need your shortstop to be a great defender.
And we should mention that he plays second base for the Red Sox.
Yes,
but he's
a shortstop.
Yeah, so that's why we have him on that list. My number 6 was Carlos Correa, and is that low?
I thought that was low.
So Correa for me is not. I mean, this year he's not doing real well. 3 homers, 16 RBIs, 279 average, 751 OPS. And then looking at his past years, obviously the whole Astro scandal. I don't know how much that played, but he's a great player, great defensively, a cannon of an arm, and he's always in the 270 range average wise. His on base percentage always is relatively good, I guess.
Career 355, that's pretty dang good.
Yeah. So and then power. Besides his years he's been injured here, he's always in the 20s and 60 plus RBI range, and stole more when he was, I guess, younger. The thing is, when he was younger, but I remember watching the TV when he was drafted, and it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. But yeah, he's been here 8 years now.
I remember watching him when he came up because he's supposed to be like I'd say he's lived up to the hype. He's been like a super great player.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's exceeded the hype.
Yeah,
he's like right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was my number 6.
I picked. Wait. No, we're at 5 now. Top 5.
Yeah, 5.
Ooh.
Top 5.
My number 5 is Francisco Lindor. I was thinking of putting him lower just because, like, the last 3 years he's not been hitting good.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year he batted 230, 322 on base, hit 20 home runs, 63 RBIs, not up to his standards. Yeah. And then in the short COVID year he hit 258, 335 on base, which wasn't good. But then the years before that, his second year in the league, he was 9th in MVP voting, hit 15 home runs, 78 RBIs. Then the year after that, he was 5th, hit 33 homers, 89 RBIs. The year after that, he was 6th in MVP voting. Then the year after that, he was 15th. And his year right now, he's looking like he's getting back into form. His old Francisco Lindor, where he was so fun to watch. And I really like him because he just has fun when he's playing.
Just sucks that he's on the Mets.
Yes, it's unfortunate he's on the Mets. But he's hit 8 home runs, had 42 RBIs, batting 260 and 346 on base. And he's won 2 Gold Gloves. Yeah, 2 Gold Gloves and a Platinum Glove. Wow. So he's a plus defender, and he's only 28, which is kind of crazy too. And I think he's really good. If he just didn't have these last 2 bad years, he could easily be number 1.
Durability is big for me, and Francisco Lindor was my number 5. as well.
He's very durable.
So
yeah, he doesn't really. Yeah, I think he was injured a little bit last year, but other than that, he's played in like almost all the games.
So we're on Baseball Reference when we're doing this, and so does the bold number mean
that means they
led the league?
Yeah.
So he led the league in at bats and plate appearances in 2017 and 2018 for Cleveland. This year, he currently leads it. In the COVID year, he led it for Cleveland. Like I said, durability is huge for me because durability is availability. And but yeah, man, those 3 years, 17 through 19, 33 homers, 38 homers, 32 homers, average in the 270s, 280s, on base percentage in the 350s, like absolute stud numbers. And again,
he could easily be higher.
Yeah. And I think if he didn't have these last 2 years, I guess, of kind of just average play, good play, but not really what we expect from him, I think he'd be higher on my list too. But yeah, Lindor was my number 5.
My number 4, who a lot of people probably get butthurt about, is Fernando Tatis. Basically, just because he's only really played, if you look at the amount of games he's played, he's only played 273 total games. So basically, his first 2 years when he came up in the COVID year combined, plus last year, is kind of like 2 seasons, I would say.
Yeah.
And he's been spectacular, like really good, really flashy. Last year, he had 42 home runs, had 97 RBIs, batted 282, 364. But he's also like only played that many games. I just think like once he gets back this year and see how he does to finish out this year, I think he could solidify his spot as number 1.
Yeah.
He just needs to stay healthy. He plays such like a flashy, hard-working style where he's diving for stuff where he just plays really hard, and that can lead to injuries. But so Tim Anderson, AJ's favorite player,
I liked him.
He had like, what was his WAR, like 18? So Fernando Tatis's, after playing only 273 games, is 13.6. So, and he's been top 5 in MVP voting the last 2 years, last year and then the COVID year, which is crazy to me. And he's defensively, he's okay. He tries to make the amazing play, which will lead to an error, but sometimes he has really good range. Sometimes when you have big range, you can get to more baseball, so it's a harder throw, and then you're throwing it way outside. But I think Fernando Tatis probably next year will be number 1.
He worries me because of the durability thing too.
Durability.
Even last year, they had him in center field and right field a little bit.
And I think his injury this year was his wrist or something.
Yeah, I believe so.
So just like shoulder, wrist.
How old is he now? Just 21, 22?
I just X out of it.
Yeah, something like that. Really young. But my number 4 was Xander Bogaerts. Very proven hitter in this league. His defense can be a little shaky, but this year is easily an all-star. 5 homers, 22 RBIs, batting 321 with an 859 OPS. In the middle of that Boston lineup for years now. And he was a rookie in 2013 when we played them in the World Series. So
I'm taking him off my list.
The durability is big for him too, though, because besides, now, I mean, if you take out the COVID year, I mean, he played 56 of those 60 games, but every other year he's had 136 plus games, which is ridiculous.
Would you say he's the best hitter at shortstop
on this list?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's close.
I would say most consistent.
Yeah, most improving.
Yeah,
because Tim Anderson's, I loved him, but he's only had a couple of years of doing this. So
he has 4 silver sluggers. So
Xander does,
yeah,
and he's a guy as you know, we're Cardinals fans. If the shortstop is not solidified for us in the summer, I don't know, or in the, I guess, winter, it might be a trade that you might look at making, because we have a lot of like weapons.
I think Xander Bogaerts would be the best 2-hitter.
Oh my goodness! Ooh. Can you just? I mean, if we get them all hot, can you just imagine like Tommy, Bogaerts, O'Neill, Goldie, Arenado, like not in that order, but like that's a ridiculous 5.
Yachty,
Yeah.
Deyoung, DH, and
Oh my goodness. I hope Deyoung gets it going. We're going to get to Deyoung actually a little bit, but Bogarts was my number 4.
My number 3 was Bogarts for basically the same reasons as AJ just said. 4-time Silver Slugger, super consistent, very durable. Basically, just you put him out there and he's going to produce, and that's basically all I need. Solid defender, not anything amazing, but he gets the job done. And I'd entertain the option of
Coming to St. Louis.
Bogarts, yeah.
That was 3, right?
Yes.
My number 3 is Fernando Tatis Jr. And I don't really have to talk much more about him. I did want to find his actual age though, so we got that correct. He's 23.
Okay.
Just turned 23 in January. I guess it's a little older than I thought, but still extremely young.
He came up when he was 21.
Yeah. So, very exciting. Like we mentioned, durability is huge for him, and I'm not a fan. I like people that bring. I'm okay with flash. I just don't want disrespect in the game. I'm okay even with bat flips, but some of the bat flips, there's a line I think, and with respect. Maybe it was just because I was butthurt in that wild card game that we had against them, and he bat flipped against us. I'm looking at the picture right now, so maybe that's why. But
yeah, I think it was on MLB The Show last year in their intro.
Yes, it was. Flip. I always try to skip through that, but no, easily could be number 1 by the end of the year, even if he comes back healthy.
Oh, for sure. So top 2, my number 2 is Carlos Correa, which AJ had lower on his list, but I just think looking at his years, when he was 20 years old, hit 22 bombs, 68 RBIs, 279 batting average. He's at a career 277 batting average, which is pretty solid. 355 on base, which is really good. Last year was probably his best year. He hit 26 home runs, 92 RBIs, batted 279, 366 on base.
That was another contract year.
Yes. And won the Gold Glove, which is surprising that was his first Gold Glove. You thought he would win one sooner because I believe, if I get to the fielding, he's one of those guys where he had plus defensive runs saved. He had 20 last year.
Wow.
According to Baseball Reference, which it's like RDRS. So I don't know if that's the same, but I think it's I don't know. There's so many acronyms in baseball where it's just but I just think he's super consistent. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years where he's hit over 20 home runs. He's driven in 96 RBIs one year, 84 in another year, and then 92 last year. And I think one thing is he could be more durable. He's had some years where he hasn't been that durable, but he's put up some great numbers in those years. He played 75 games in 2019 and hit 21 home runs and 59 RBIs. That's pretty crazy. I think he's really good. I think his stats right now, his average and on base is pretty similar to his career marks, and I think he'll have a solid year this year in Minnesota.
So my number 2 was Tim Anderson.
You would have had a number 1. Oh my God.
Tim this year.
Oh wait, just hold on a second.
Okay.
Carlos. I forgot to mention a key point about Carlos Correa.
Yeah.
His WAR, I believe, is pretty high. Like 35.2. And how many years has he played?
8 years.
8. Yeah, 8. How many did Tim Anderson play?
Tim's at 7.
Okay. Just want to make that clear.
So that might be something because I just love Tim Anderson. He's very exciting to watch, but I think, I thought it was a shorter amount of time than Bogarts, and he's played less years, but over these last 4 years now, if you're counting this year, he's the best hitting shortstop in baseball. 2019, he batted 335, 322 in 2020, 309 last year. He's batting 356 this year. His on-base percentage is very high, but like you mentioned, it's because of the hits that he's getting, not so much the walks. But he's a guy that can steal you 20 bases. Kind of sneaky power, I guess, out of a leadoff guy. Because he's getting 15 plus homers in every year. And health is a little worry for me with him because he's played 1 year where he got 153 games and 1 year with 146, 2 years 123. But besides that, hasn't I guess, been super healthy. But yeah, I just love watching Tim Anderson play baseball. That might be the reason why. I think if his defense was better, would you say he's top 5 for you? Like, do you think he could beat out Bogarts? What if his defense was like elite?
I think Bogarts has one better. If his defense was the same as Bogarts, I'd put Bogarts higher. Bogarts hits for like just under the same average and hits for power and drives and runs.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be just because I love watching Tim play. He brings some kind of flash and style to the game that I like. But yeah, Tim was my number 2.
My number 1, Trey Turner. He's one of my I wish he wasn't on the Dodgers, but I just really like players that are fast and can hit.
Yeah.
And last year he had career year. 328 batting average, 375 on base, hit 28 home runs, career high, and drove in 77 and led the league NL and stolen bases with 32. So basically did it all. He's so fast, can steal a base. I would say best leadoff hitter in the game.
Yeah.
And this year he's batting 298, has 357 on base, hit 5 home runs and has 41 RBIs, which was very surprising to me, as he's only played 49 games.
Yeah.
And that's really crazy. I just think he does it all. And he's a solid defender, I believe. I looked at it. Yeah, he's a solid defender. Not like as good as defender as Correa or Lindor, but he gets the job done. I think he's above average, I would say. And he's just an elite offensive threat. You could just so good. He's on the base pass. He could steal the base, win you a game.
Why do I feel like he's underrated? I feel like he's not a top, like people don't talk about him as a top 5 player, but
he's only had 1 All-Star.
He's had 1 All-Star appearance?
Yeah, it's because the All-Star, you can have a bad beginning of the year, then pick it up.
That's messed up to me because I got to look up his stats here. So Trey Turner was my number 1 also. Not just because he's the best slider in baseball. Have you seen some of those videos? That's ridiculous. But no, I mean, he's hitting for a high average. He's stealing. I'm getting it here. So, yeah, I mean, one year he had 43 stolen bases.
Yeah, he had 46 one year, and that wasn't even the top.
Yeah, I mean, every year besides that COVID year, he's getting 30-plus stolen bases. His average is always –
It's 10 already.
290 and above.
Career 302 hitter.
Yeah, on base percentage 360 for his career. It's got pop.
His OPS is 848 for his career, which is pretty high for a guy who's only hit 108 home runs.
And he almost had 200 hits last year. So
yeah, it's a lot of doubles, gets the triple.
And it looks like durability is something that's there for him too.
Yeah,
besides his first couple of years. So yeah, I don't know why. If you don't have number 1 on your list, I don't know. I mean, Tatis probably is a lot of people.
Yeah,
with what they have, but
I think that was MLB's top was Tatis.
Yeah, of course,
because they love the flashy players.
Yeah. But no, Trey kind of goes under the radar, and now that he's in LA, I feel like he's probably going to get a little more attention. I loved him in Washington.
And, I think I kind of wanted the trade for him.
What's that?
I wanted the trade for Trey.
Oh
Turner.
yeah. Well,
I'd give up Gorman. I'd give up.
Well, they traded Scherzer and Trey to LA.
Yeah.
And that was the trade that I was like, maybe we do that as Cardinals.
Yeah.
Because Scherzer was from here and Trey Turner would have fit perfectly. But so it sucks that he's in LA because besides the Lakers with LeBron now, but I don't cheer for LA in any other capacity. So, but yeah, Trey was my number 1. The next episode we'll have second baseman.
Yep, second baseman.
So we can move on here to our Cardinals update of the episode. They have split the 4-game series with the Brewers a few games ago. I guess there's been more games in this stretch than our last episode. We only had like 2 to talk about in our last episode.
Yeah, because they played Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then today.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday. Wait, what is today? Wednesday.
So 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
But we won the first 2 against the Padres. Then we won the one today, which actually just wrapped up. And
so we won the series against the Padres, right?
Yeah, swept it.
Yeah. Wait, we swept it?
Yeah, we won all 3.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I saw him on Monday. Duh.
So, and we're watching TV right now, and Dakota Hudson on the screen, but he was phenomenal today. I don't know what his last inning was like, but at one point he had set down 17 straight guys.
I walked in here because I was doing something else and I had the TV on. I walked in after the first inning, he threw like 25 pitches. I was like, oh boy, here we go. The classic 4-inning start. But It's so good to see him go 7 innings, and he's kind of getting back to that form when he first came up,
Yeah.
which is what we need. Really, if you look at our starting pitchers, we've been really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes our hitting is either amazing or non-existent. But the last few games, we've been putting like getting good runs every time, and I'm getting excited.
I would agree that the pitching's been good. I'd like to see more innings.
Yeah, I
out
would
of
agree.
the majority of them.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, especially when you have guys like Hicks with giving 4.
Yeah.
And if Hudson only gives you 4 or 5, then I mean that's 2 of your 5 that Michaelis and Waino have been eating innings, but and
been
then
amazing. Except Michaelis' last start.
Yeah, he struggled on that one. But great to see Hudson get back on track. Again, we swept the Padres. Today was 5-2.
5-2.
5-2.
Yes.
And so a couple things I took from this last week was right now Goldie has to be the MVP, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If he's not, some people were saying no Machado, but
I would have said Machado last week, but
no, Goldie had better, like 10 points lower at batting average, had more home runs, more RBIs, and like everything.
Yeah. No, Goldie's been on the absolute tear. Today marked 22 straight. 23 now.
I think
was it 23 for the hitting streak, 37 or 38 for the on base streak. And I mentioned to my dad last night that this might be one of the hottest hitters I've seen in my life.
Oh, well,
besides
another
Carp in that one stretch.
I'd take Goldie over that.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I think so. I don't know. I kind of forgot how good Carp was. I think I just like Goldie more, but
he batted like 260 for that year.
Yeah.
But that one stretch was ridiculous.
But I think Goldie's is better just because he's had in Cardinals history, Goldie had 23 extra base hits in the month of May, which is first. So Stan Musial had 22 and Albert had 22 extra base hits, and Goldie's just like, hold my beer, and he gets 23.
Anytime you're on a list with Musial and Albert, I think you're in pretty good company.
Yeah. Arguably one of the best left-handed hitters and arguably one of the best right-handed hitters of all time.
Seriously. And then you mentioned earlier Gorman's success. You've seen both of his great games.
I've seen him 7 for 7.
But he's batting I think it was like 389 now in his 12 games. And obviously
he hits the ball so hard.
Those 2 games obviously help with
just his stance. He's just like, just uncoils and just rips it. That home run, oh my God.
I'd like to see him stay. Obviously, he's not going to do this, but obviously, I hope he can stay hot because I'd love to see him like stay up here throughout the entire year and kind of just solidify his spot.
Keep him up here.
Yeah. And then I wanted to mention 2 guys in the minors. Alec Burleson is another outfielder we got.
Yeah, lefty.
Yeah, he's batting 331 down there with 11 homers, so he's knocking at the door. And then
not a great defender, I don't think.
No,
I saw him in Double-A last year. Seen a lot of these guys in Double-A last year, but he was playing right field, and I just remember him missing a ball or something. I was like, that was pitiful.
Yeah, he's a bigger build also. Doesn't
he's
move
burly.
Well. Yeah, there you go. And then the other name in the minors I wanted to mention was Paul Deyoung. He was, I think 3 for 4 or 3 for 5 last night, but he's only batting 216 down there. So
216.
Yeah, I know. So I'm cheering for him. He had a terrible start down there, and then he had one game where he was like 4 for 5.
He almost hit for the cycle.
Yeah, I think it was that game. And then he had 3 for 4, 3 for 5 last night. So got him up to 216, but hopefully he can get it going.
If he could just bring it up a little bit, he'd be such a good like utility player.
We're not even asking.
We just want a solid bench player at this point. I think I think right now he's lost his starting job. It's Edman and Gorman and
Donovan.
Like Edman, Donovan. Edman's playing second or short every time, and it's Gorman. Sosa. Donovan just plays wherever we need him.
Yeah. No, if Paulie could just bat 240 with 20 homers, he would stay because his defense is good enough. But we can't have.
That's the only knock on Gorman is the Saturday he had 2 errors.
Yeah.
Which I'm not an amazing.
Were they bad errors? Because I didn't see it.
One was hit right to him. He just missed the transfer. Yeah, just come on, buddy.
So, I think if we were pretty much any lower quality team, I think you just say Paul will just ride you out and kind of just feel out or get you on track in the majors. But we're a team that brought in Albert and had this whole reunion. We have to win now.
Yes,
we can't afford to have you.
I think we're getting on the right track.
Well,
I
yeah.
think we're kind of putting it all together.
Yep.
Like, yes, we have injuries with our starting pitchers, but and Flaherty's been pitching to live hitters. He's about to do his rehab assignment. Then we have 4 starters who are solid, I think, and then 5th is just keep it under 5.
Yeah. No, and then hitting wise, you have guys like O'Neill and Carlson out, and they were 2 staples in your lineup.
Yeah, and Carlson was hitting pretty good before he got hurt.
And O'Neill will get it going. I firmly believe that.
Yes,
I don't know if he'll be what he was at the end of last year, MVP type guy,
yes.
but he'll get it going.
I think also you got to just put him in a spot and just keep him there instead of.
I agree with that.
You go 0 for 3 one game. It happens. Okay, Ollie's like, let's put him in 7th instead of.
I keep him in that 5. Just put him in the 5 spot.
Yeah.
I really like. I mean, what have they been doing lately? Eddie in the lead off and what, Goldie 2nd or Goldie 3rd?
It depends who's if it's a right-handed pitcher, Gorman's been 2nd, and then
Or
Goldie,
Donovan.
Arenado, then
Albert's in there for
Albert or Yepes.
And then I think one last Cardinal thing I wanted to get to was I have a question for you. So when O'Neill and Carlson returned, do you let go of Dickerson? I mean, you have to, right?
I say you have to let go Dickerson, especially because Donovan can play.
Yeah.
The corner outfielders and
He's
hitting
gotta
290. He can play anywhere and he's
Yeah.
solid. Yepes has been hitting good and he can play left. Not amazing, but he can play the outfield. And then also you have Burleson who's hitting crazy in the minors too. Newt Bar.
He hasn't shown much up here this year.
He hasn't. He's not.
They sent him down. He had a 3-homer game.
He's not hitting great, but his defense, like last night, he threw a 96-mile-an-hour, like
seed.
Yes.
Yeah.
The dot.
So when Carlson and O'Neill come back, you have to send down or get rid of 2 guys. I'd release Dickerson, which I hate doing that because I know he was probably. I mean, you have to be excited coming here to play.
Yeah.
So
you get it. With Albert Wayne.
Yeah. It's gonna suck, but. And I wasn't. I guess I know a lot of people weren't super high on that signing because we have all these guys.
I was high on it because I thought he'd be like solid. I thought he'd hit like 280.
And he's proven, unlike these other.
His
guys.
career average, I think, is 280. Like,
yeah.
You keep talking. I'll find.
But I would release Dickerson, especially because your outfield is loaded. And I guess you send down Newt Bar.
Yeah, Newt Bar.
Or this is what my question for you was. Do you package up a couple of those guys for a trade or for a pitching piece, maybe a 2 or 3 starter? Because I have a couple of names I want to run through with you here. So
first, Dickerson's a career 280 hitter.
280, yeah. So I have a couple pitching names though to throw at you. So Madison Bumgarner is one. Diamondbacks should be bad by that point. Another one was 2 in the division guys, Luis Castillo and Tyler Mahle for the Reds. And then the 2 big names that I would really consider is I mentioned it to you guys the other day. Dallas Keuchel was released by the White Sox, and I know Colin said he's making a lot of money, which he is.
Yeah.
It was like a 55 over 3-year span.
Yeah, I don't want to pay him that.
I know, but I just feel like he's a guy that.
Well, if he was released, do we have to pay him for that contract?
Because they designated him for assignment, so I thought that means they finished paying him.
I think so.
And then the number 1 name on my list, which I mentioned a couple episodes that he was injured, but it was just like a tweak thing. He's back and he's pitching
Montes.
today. Is Frankie Montes. And if you could package up, I like Yepes a lot, but I think what we've seen from Yepes is Yepes. Like I don't think there's another level to him. And I think I would take Burleson over Yepes. But
really?
if you packaged up Newt Bar, Yepes, especially if Yepes continues, I mean he's slumped a little bit. He's like 270, 280, but you trade him now while he's doing this.
Yeah.
I know Newt Bar's been like 112 right now, but he's got potential. I kept thinking you would have to trade maybe Gorman or dare I say Walker to get. No, that's not happening.
Walker can come out next year.
I know, but I thought to get Montes, we would have to trade somebody like Gorman or Liberatore.
Yeah.
But if you have a guy like Yepes that's hot right now,
give him Deyoung.
I know. Or does he have all the? Yeah. He seems like he'd fit in Oakland.
Yeah.
Just kind of disappear in Oakland.
Just kind of he'll start hitting like 260.
Yeah.
Being like a solid shortstop.
Yeah.
But I would like to go for Montes. What's his ERA this year?
Low threes. I think it's like
I don't think Cincinnati would trade with us because it's in division.
Yeah. And I don't know if I really trust Molly Castillo and Molly are both solid, but Montes could be a number 2 somewhere.
Bumgarner is very intriguing just because how good he is in the postseason, like just godly. But
also, what do you do with your rotation? Because I like our rotation.
Yeah.
Do you? I wouldn't call it a Hicks experiment because I think that's what they actually plan on doing is having him as a starter. But do you put him in the bullpen to help out?
Yeah, I'd put him in the bullpen
because Whitgren struggled a little bit. McFarland's not been good. Whitley has been up and down. So you have some guys down there that you don't really know. And Gallegos has struggled, so Hicks could help out the back end.
I'd like Hicks would be nice in the bullpen. I'd also like to maybe trade for a lefty reliever.
Yeah.
Because we just have McFarland. Hennessy's is solid.
Yeah.
Hennessy's is a beast, but McFarland
he's been better controlled this year.
Yeah.
Which surprises me.
And McFarland. No bueno.
I know. I hope he gets it going. I like him a lot, especially what he did last year for us was insane.
I think Matt's will be his usual like around 4 ERA, which is it's fine.
Yeah.
But I think I kind of like Montes.
I keep an eye on Montes. For any Cardinals fans listening, I keep an eye on Frankie Montes.
I trade Newtbar. I could see Yepez because he's not going to become like any better at defending.
He's not like a high prospect.
No.
He's just I'm not gonna like.
The only bad thing is then if we trade Yepez, who's like I guess Dickerson would stay up, and then we'd have all lefties on the bench except Pujols.
Yeah, that's true. And Burleson's a lefty.
Yeah, that's why I was like next year because Pujols is going to retire. He's going to be.
What if you trade Burleson? Because he's obviously red hot right now.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. But then, like next year, you'd want that like right-handed hitter at the DH, which literally, I was thinking that like literally could be Jordan Walker, which would be awesome.
For people that don't know, like Jordan Walker is in Double A right now, and he's got the talk of like Albert talk when Albert was coming through really fast. And yesterday was actually the anniversary of Oscar Taveras' first homer.
I watched that, the Rain Man.
Yeah, and so he also had that talk coming through the minors of like. Crazy potential. Jordan Walker, I might be more excited for him than like any player I've ever been excited for.
And I was excited for Gorman. He's lighting up. I think he's kind of solidified second base.
Yeah.
But I really want Ollie to just put him against a left-handed pitcher. It's like
he's been trying to stop that.
He's I don't think he's hit against a left-handed pitcher yet since he's been up.
He might have faced Quintana in Pittsburgh, but besides that, it was like 2 at-bats.
Like he's 22. He's gonna have to face against a left-handed hitter.
Yep. And then some other news from around the league. The Blue Jays are finally hot. We were kind of like questioning them for a while. They've won 6 straight. And then Jose Barrios was awful or has been awful.
Yeah.
It's got like a 6 ERA. The Angels are in the opposite direction. They've had 6 straight losses. And a lot of that has to do with pitching. I know you're facing me in fantasy right now. I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen the score?
I did. I'm like dominating.
You're beating me 124-0. Like it's not even close.
My team it's because I have Goldie and Ramirez.
Yeah. And then I'm getting some production from like my hitters, but I have Syndergaard, and he got me like -20 last night. Kaylee is here. What's going on?
Some of us have to work really hard instead of doing a fun podcast all day. I just got off work, but had to come say hey to all my fans at A to Z Sports Talk.
There you go. It's good to see you. Where are we at? Angels?
Yes.
Angels pitching?
Yeah.
I also have Lorenzen on my fantasy team. So I literally have
Lorenzen. Like he used to play for the Reds?
Yeah. He's starting for
is he?
The Angels. Yeah.
I like that.
What else here? I put down the Phillies have the same record as the Orioles through 50 games. Isn't that rough? Because coming into the season, the Phillies had a lot of expectations.
And you had Bryce Harper as your
Bryce is did I mention this last week where Bryce has like a torn UCL?
Yeah, that's the Tommy John ligament.
Yeah, so he can't field, but he can DH.
So he's just DH in the rest of the year.
Or for the next, I think they said he can't like throw a baseball for like 6-7 weeks.
Oh dang! So now you have to have Kyle Schwarber in the
I know.
outfield.
So yeah, they've been a crazy disappointment. And then I put down Mookie Betts is back.
Oh yeah, you're
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, you kept saying Mookie Betts. Oh, not that good. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's got like 15 homers already, which is pretty crazy even for Mookie. And then the last thing I put down was JD Martinez is not talked about enough. He's batting 363 for the Red Sox.
He's so consistent.
Yeah.
He gets like 350 every year.
I know he's a really poor defender. That's why they have him at DH. But he's a guy, when we do our DH list in a couple weeks, he's going to be pretty high up there. But
for sure.
Do you have anything else baseball-wise?
Oh, I'm good. We went pretty long on baseball.
I know. We always do with those lists.
Yeah.
But these next two will go pretty quickly, I think. The NHL shouldn't take too long because the Blues season is over, sadly. And I said
talk about it.
Yeah, seriously. I said it ended horribly because
they scored on 6 seconds left.
Yeah, 6 seconds left, and that was absolutely brutal. Because I thought we were gonna, if we got that to overtime, I thought we could got it to Game 7.
Oh yeah.
And Game 7, anything can happen.
Yes.
But for the Blues, I think there's some decisions to make in the offseason. David Perron, Vladdy Tarasenko, Nick Leddy, and Billy Husso are all free agents. So I don't think you make big changes. Because I think we ran into a team like Colorado that you're going to probably have to get by if you're going to win a cup.
Yeah, because they do that stupid division thing where you play.
Yeah, exactly. Division. And same thing happens with like the Maple Leafs, and they like have to get past the Lightning.
Yeah,
if they're going to do anything about it. But I wouldn't make a whole lot of changes. I'd probably let Husso go because you're not going to pay 2 goalies a lot of money.
Yeah,
and he's probably going to get a lot for what he's done this year. And then you have Benner, and you have options in the minors, like we mentioned. I would probably lean towards, depending on what Tarasenko wants, I'd probably let him go, which kind of sucks because you don't get anything for what he's done.
Yeah.
And I think if we had played poorly throughout this year, I think he would have been traded at the deadline and gotten stuff. I bring Nick Leddy back, depending on what he's asking for, and then I do bring Perron back. That's I would, because he fits so well here, and he's kind of like getting better with age, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because he's like 34 now. So, and he talked about in his like post season,
probably give him a discount too, possibly.
Yeah, and his post like season, I guess, interview that he had, he was talking about how much he loves it here. So, but yeah, this time of year, you need just a lot of luck, a lot of like health and lucky bounces, and so I wouldn't make a whole lot of changes, but it's sad to see the season over with. And then the other series that was happening that we didn't cover that hadn't finished yet is now finished. Carolina lost Game 7 at home to New York, and Carolina was 7-0 at home before that game.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so
I was like, Carolina's going to win.
That shocked me. I think we all thought they were. And the Rangers are kind of shocking a lot of people because they were down 3-1 to Pittsburgh in the first round, and Pittsburgh had some injuries, but they still came out of that one 3-1 and finished that one. And then now they're facing the Lightning. Game 1 is tonight. Quick prediction: I have the Lightning in 6.
I'm just gonna pick the Lightning because they're on a heater right now.
Yeah, I don't know how you even score past Vasilevsky. We praise him every episode, but
ridiculous.
It's well deserved. And then so we both have the Lightning. And then the West, the Oilers versus the Avalanche. Game 1 was last night, and it was 8-6.
Who won?
The Avs won, but it was like in 14 goals. It's like ridiculous scoring. I have the Avs in 7, even though I'm cheering for the Oilers.
I'm going Oilers just because I don't want to cheer for the Avs or pick the Avs.
No, yeah. I actually really had to think about this because I try to this sounds really corny and weird, but I try to visualize what the next round would look like. Does that make sense? Like, can I actually picture the Oilers playing the Lightning and I can see McDavid getting a cup this year in my vision.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of you.
I hope. I mean, obviously, we're cheering against the Avalanche because the Blues thing, but I hope the Oilers get it done because McDavid and Draisaitl need that cup under their belt. We can move on here. That was a quick hockey segment. We can move on to our little side segment we have here. So we're going to give our top 3 pet peeves today. So
a lot of mine are sports related because
Oh,
I was at a Cardinals game.
do you want to get us started?
I have 4.
Okay. In any order?
No, these are all just pet peeves. I
Yeah.
feel like you can't really rank.
Yeah.
Or I guess you can. So first will be what I witnessed at the Cardinal game. People not being situationally aware. And that is like, so we're walking to the gate to go in, and there's 3 gates open. A long line on this side. There's one on the right that's wrapping all the way down, like basically down the stadium. And then the one in the middle is so short. We go past the people that are in the line, go in the middle, and I'm like, these people are stupid.
Yeah.
Like, are we smart? Because that's just like frustrating. It's like, just come on, do better.
What'd you say it was?
Being
Situation.
situationally. That kind of goes with like literally anything.
Yeah, it does.
Where's one of yours?
Mine. I actually did rank them.
You did rank them.
I rank everything.
I could have ranked them. I just was thinking them off the top of my head.
My number 3 was when people smack their food, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay with like an accidental, because I do that. You accidentally
Oh, yeah.
you enjoy the food
AJ's
a lot.
Down in some sushi.
Yeah, and you accidentally let out a smack. It's fine. It's like the constant,
Yeah.
because it's for me self-awareness, like who you're around, and it's like I just find it rude.
Mhm.
Like it's not so much like a gross thing to me, but
Yeah.
it's like just rude. I don't know.
It's just annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these are sports. One is arriving late to a game.
Oh yeah.
Not if it's first or second, I'll throw you a bone. But if it's third inning, then all of a sudden you just come in and sit down. And usually those are the people that come in like the third inning, and then they'll be one inning, then they'll leave and you'll never see them again.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
why even come?
I know.
And I'm just gonna do another one because these are kind of the same people.
Yeah.
Is being on a phone during a sporting event.
Mhm.
Why even pay the ticket?
Yeah.
You can sit like I could sit right here and be on my phone. But
What
no.
about leaving early? Is that as worse as getting there late?
Depends on the score.
Yeah.
If you're getting annihilated,
So you and I are the type that we try to stay no matter what.
usually stay the majority of the time, unless
But-
it's like the game's like super long or it's been so many innings and it's like midnight.
And I don't blame people. It's like 12-0, your team's down and you want to
Yeah.
leave. But yeah, I agree with I've seen people
But you
get
have to
there
at
in,
least
like,
get to the 8th. Leave
Yeah.
like you can skip the 9th if you're down by a lot.
Yeah.
But not like it's the third inning and you're down 12. It's like, oh, let's leave.
I've seen people get there in like the 5th. And I don't know if they got there or if it was like they were just hanging out and then they just decided to watch the game. It
If you're
drives
there
me
with
crazy.
kids, you have a pass.
Yeah, okay. My number 2, I don't know how you feel about this, is summer. Just summer in general. I hate summer.
You don't like summer?
I hate summer. So I like cooler weather.
Yeah, I like too, but I love summer. You can go outside,
So
baseball.
being in school, you get the summer break, which is nice,
Yeah.
obviously. But I hate the heat.
Mhm.
This is personal, but I'm a natural sweater. So like I get really sweaty in the summer, which
Uh-huh.
sucks. I find it annoying. And I thought about this on the way
Get
here.
heated.
I hate summer. I thought about this on the way here. Showers are not as like enjoyable in the summer because like a hot shower.
Yeah.
Because like you when you're cold,
A cold shower feels pretty good.
yeah, it's like kind of like the pool.
Kaylee, what are some of your pet peeves?
How do you feel about summer?
Summer is a beautiful time, but it's really hot. I don't like being hot, but I
Uh-huh.
like summer. No school, that's great.
That's how I am. I like summer because you get to do a lot of stuff outside, like hike and do all this
Yeah.
stuff. But I do sweat a lot. That's probably
Yeah.
and the humidity in Missouri makes it a lot worse.
Do you
Pet
guys
peeves.
prefer winter or summer? All around.
Fall.
Okay.
Okay.
Fun.
I like
Yeah.
both. I like winter.
I think I like winter better than
Okay.
summer, but I
I
like
agree.
not being at school.
I also like summer because it's lighter for longer. Because winter
That's
is
There's a lot of fun things happening in summer.
Yeah, it gets
So
dark real
Mhm.
fast. Or some of you got?
pet peeves.
Yeah.
Number one, someone at this table does this, putting their arm on my shoulder, like to weigh me down when we're
Oh,
walking.
yeah.
It's a big pet peeve of mine. I'm 5'3.5" on a good day, so I don't like that.
it's just gonna be all about me.
No, that is something that you do, but I
Yeah.
know that you probably do it out of love.
Dude, for fun.
Let's see. if we're in like a big group setting and people like interrupt you or like they don't pay attention in the
Talking
conversation,
while someone is giving a presentation.
something like that.
Is that your number?
Yes,
Is that-
I don't like.
I just think that that's rude and it really gets me. And so if we're in a big group setting and like someone else would be talking and then they get interrupted and nobody recognizes that, I always try to be really intentional and like make eye contact with that person because that's what I like to have. Because that's a big pet peeve of mine.
That is a big one. I agree with that.
Because I'm a big like rule follower,
Yeah, me too.
but I don't know why. Even in college, people will be like talking next to me. It just like drives me up a wall.
Yeah.
I'm like, just shut up.
For me, it's kind of like that with even being in class and like the teachers talking and people just like being on their phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
or
like
or
that.
they like ask you to put your phone away and then you like 2 classes later you pull it out again. Just like respect
Just
what
respect. Yeah, definitely. I think like with the talking over things, like I sometimes will jump into a conversation really quick and like talk, and I never want someone to feel like I was interrupting them. Like sometimes I have to be like, oh, I'm sorry, because I sometimes get like excited. Like,
Yeah.
I want to share because like
Oh,
I have
yeah.
a similar experience.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too. Because usually if I don't, then I completely forget what I was going to say. And I'm like,
Mhm.
But definitely in a group setting, if you're like just talking over someone, that's really frustrating.
My number one was actually rudeness, just like
Yeah,
in
just
general.
rude.
I put a couple examples like when you're holding the door for somebody
Mhm.
and they don't say thank you or they just keep their head down or
Yeah.
something, that drives me nuts. Or like when you're at a stop sign and you let them go first, like walk across and they don't give you a head nod.
Like a wave.
Or even like Hannah thinks is like crazy. I mean, I try to give them like a little speed walk to like let them know.
Let them know that you're hustling.
just
I'm
show
hurting.
them that you're, instead of like the person who's just like slowly walking.
Exactly. I think that's key. Zach does this thing with his hand whenever, if you're at like a 4-way stop and like, let's say you're all there, he'll do this with his hand, move it really, really fast.
Uh-huh.
I'm always like, that is such an aggressive hand wave. You need to let these people know that you want them to go,
Uh-huh.
but that you're not being aggressive about it. So just a casual. Oh, you
I
go
actually
ahead.
thought about that the last time I was driving, and so I was like, looking at my hand and doing the motion.
So I'm like, whoa, the first time I think that you did that, I was like, what an aggressive little hand wave you got going
That's
on there.
awesome. Do you guys have any more? I didn't have any more.
Oh, I could go on and on about what annoys me, but
Yeah.
we don't have enough time for that probably. Not about Zach, but pet
Rudeness
peeves
and
in general.
disrespect, though.
Yeah, that's probably
I
up
think
there for
we
me.
all agree on that one.
Mhm.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. Just be nice. Be a good human.
Yep.
Unless you're getting in a bar fight, then be really mean. Not common.
Yeah, Colin's not here today to talk. we have no experience with that. Or at least I don't. Do you?
No,
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
not yet.
But yeah, I guess next week or next episode, I want to start doing this again where we bring in. I'm sure you could have some good ideas for that.
Who are we bringing in?
Just topics,
Just
Oh,
random stuff.
non-sports topics.
yes.
I don't know if this is a really a pet peeve, but it's just something. I'm just a weird person, but I don't like touching stuff that's very like dry. Does that make
So
sense?
maybe
Like
like
a
a-
newspaper. Sometimes like a newspaper is really
Oh,
dry. I just
yeah.
don't like
Like maybe like a
this wood's not.
Are you the type of the guy that doesn't like styrofoam?
Yeah, I don't like styrofoam.
Yeah.
That yes.
Another,
Interesting.
what was I going to say? Oh man, I just lost it. There was something with summer I was going to say. Oh, like beach settings, like sand.
I don't like
I
sand.
hate sand. Like it's you find it like 3 weeks later in places that sand shouldn't be,
Yeah.
and like I don't know. I hate the feeling of it, and like
5 weeks later, you take a dump and then you're wiping
Yeah,
sand out
I
of your
know.
butt.
Exactly.
I think that we're gonna get really close to the beach setting here in a minute.
yeah,
Yeah.
moving down there.
Moving down there, so Zach, you better
Maybe you'll
just get used to.
That's
the
why you
sandy
wear
butt cheeks.
compression shorts underneath your swim trunks, and then the sand. It's harder for the sand to get in.
Well, for me, it's like when I take off my shorts in the bathroom or something, then
Yeah.
the sand just falls on the
Yeah,
floor.
Then
And
you
then
have to clean the floor.
yeah, and then I step on it.
Or
at some
usually what I
point.
did here when I was a kid, after like a baseball game, there'd be dirt over the floor. My mom would clean it. I wouldn't clean it.
Yeah.
No,
Good, your
absolutely
job.
not.
Woo!
No,
Yeah.
I will not high five to that. It's not going to be in the vows. I will not clean up your dirt.
I
But
was
yeah,
thinking
we'll
of-
have to be in communication with you about topics to come up with,
Oh, I think I have a lot of things to talk about.
non-sports related. Yeah.
Huh?
I think you should just have me on as a segment.
Kaylee time.
Yeah.
I'll
Give-
just talk
give
to the followers
Kaylee-
about whatever I comes
Kaylee's
in my head.
attention. 30 minutes.
Yes,
Her own time in the show.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, so we're going to NBA now. Who do you have in the finals?
Yeah.
The Celtics all the way.
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum, he's coming back to STL. Everybody get their toasted raviolis out.
Emos.
Their Emos pizzas.
Produce.
Their
Gooey
I don't
butter
know,
cake.
The gooey butter cake. Get it all out.
He
Jason
likes
Tatum's coming back.
the red hot chips.
I was stalking
Those are
his
same things,
Instagram
yeah.
the other day, and his dad seems to be like a pretty big sports guy in the
He-
STL area.
he
He
coached
coaches
it.
for CBC.
Oh.
I don't know if he still does that,
I don't know if it
Were you
is
talking
now.
about those Riplets chips?
Yeah.
Red Hot Riplets?
Yeah, he likes those.
but I'm like, this is gonna be big. I feel like a lot of people might come out just being like an STL fan, not
It's
really like
gonna-
a Celtics fan.
You know how
but-
they have those maps which shows where states are cheering or like what locations
Mhm.
the US are
Yeah.
cheering. It's gonna be like a lot of West Warriors, most of the East. I bet a lot of people don't like the Celtics, so like maybe a lot of the Northeast would be Celtics and kind of like all of maybe a lot of Warriors, and then St. Louis is gonna be
Us, yeah.
Celtics.
Yeah. I think I just came up with something in my head for Kaylee's 30 minutes on your podcast that we just all agreed to. Relationships within the sporting world. I think I'm pretty good in that department. It's like all these famous people that you're talking about. I
Yeah.
don't know much, but I could have a whole segment on relationships and
Athletic couples.
yeah, what works, what doesn't.
Shout out Tommy Edmond and his wife.
Yes, that's really
Your
like
hero?
my first.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like my
What's her
first
name again?
one.
Kristen.
Kristen. Yeah. It's my first couple that I really got into, but I was really digging deep into Jason Tatum, and I guess he's not with his baby mama anymore.
No, yeah.
Deuce is always around though.
I love Deuce.
Deuce kind of has like a little. I feel like he's got swag. Like you just
Oh,
see him,
yeah,
and he's
yeah.
got swag.
Totally.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
Do you have the Celtics?
Oh, that was one of my other things. ESPN did a thing where it had their percentage of which team to win, and they gave the Celtics an 89% chance to win.
I saw that. That's crazy.
What is wrong with ESPN? Like
Yeah.
they're stupid.
Is that a pet
Talking
peeve?
about the finals. Yeah, probably ESPN's stupid rankings. Yeah, pet peeve.
Pet peeve. You
So
heard it here first.
But
who are you thinking?
I could go either way. The Warriors' offense is just so good. The bad thing
Yeah,
is,
but like, isn't it just boring? It's always the Warriors. But
I hate that Tatum's in Boston.
yeah,
do we not like Boston?
I don't like Boston sports.
no. Sorry, Kyle.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. They've got
I-
lots of fun colors.
I'll probably root for the Celtics. I'm not. I like the Warriors because they play good basketball. And I like Steph Curry and Klay
Yeah.
Thompson. It's kind of the throwback.
they're-
I don't
yeah.
have a problem with either team. So,
Yeah.
and I don't. I did watch probably the most NBA was the end of the Heat Celtics game. I
Yeah.
watched the last quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Celtics all the way. So.
Um,
Final vote.
Who do you think will win?
I have not watched a single game this season, so don't take
I got a
my
50-50 chance.
don't take my my opinion to the to Las Vegas to bet on it.
I think it's gonna go 7 games. Oh,
I agree. It's going 7.
you're gonna
Same.
take Celtics because you picked them to win.
Celtics in 4. That's Kaylee's official vote.
Sweet. That's a bold one.
On that
you
note,
guys can each pay me $100.
on that note, Kaylee walks out.
On that note, I have nothing more to add or contribute to this podcast. Unless we're talking more about pet peeves or relationships, then I'll be back.
I did pick the Celtics to win at the beginning of this whole
Yeah.
thing. I think the Warriors will win though.
I know.
7.
I'm cheering for the Celtics, but I just feel like the Warriors are just.
Because I saw a video of Steph Curry getting his new golf clubs like yesterday. So obviously he has no worries about
He's
the
chilling.
Celtics. But
And the Warriors they're both top defensive teams, and the Warriors are better offensively.
I'm trying to think of like matchups, like who can cancel each other out. And I think Smart can provide trouble for Curry or Thompson.
Yeah. But the bad thing is it's like Thompson's not a bad defender. He's a good defender,
No.
and Wiggins is a good
Yeah,
defender.
Wiggins and Tatum will be, or is it Draymond and Tatum? I wonder what they do.
I said they put
Is that Draymond Green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Draymond and Tatum.
probably. Who
Because Draymond a lot of times guards the big, but they don't have a big to
they have Williams,
But you can kind
Al
of
Horford, just to be
help.
the loony. Yeah. They may put like Klay Thompson on Grant Williams just to not have him running around as much.
What did you think about the Jimmy Butler shot at the end of that game?
Stupid.
I thought it was too. And I've heard some people say like the percentages were high of that shot.
That's not his strength. I don't even know if he made it. Like he may have made 1 3, but the way it was going, they were just taking it to the bucket. Except Max Strus shooting like kind of a wild shot that happened to go in, but he was going right at Horford, right?
And Horford was backing up.
He was going downhill, and Jimmy Butler is great around the rim. You could have got an and one or just tied the game. There's 20 seconds left.
18 seconds or something like that. Yeah.
But he took the shot at the right time because you could have got a rebound.
If it's Steph Curry, it's different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but not. I know he was hot. I guess the 2 games before that, he had like 46 in Boston or something. So I guess, he was feeling it, but I agree. I didn't like that shot from him.
No.
But did you say Celtics or Warriors?
Warriors.
In 7?
Yeah, in 7. But I'm cheering for the Celtics.
I would cheer for the Celtics over the Warriors.
Actually, this is good that you guys voted for them because your votes are always wrong. So the Celtics.
There you go. And then I guess we can finish up.
You don't like the Warriors, do you?
Just because, I don't dislike them as much anymore. I watch them. I was cheering for the Mavs, obviously.
Yeah, because they play real normal basketball.
Yeah. Also, the whole LeBron thing from 2016.
Oh
17.
yeah, because the guys who are in the finals now who stayed on the same team and were loyal beat LeBron.
I literally see it building up in them.
Can't take it.
We can finish with our NFL segment. The next team, we finished the NFC East. We're on to the NFC South. We have the Saints, New Orleans Saints on deck today. So I have them at 9-8 for the season. What do you think?
I had them 9-8 too.
Okay, right on.
I had them beating. I have their schedule up. I had them beating the Falcons, losing to Tampa Bay, beating the Panthers. I think I had them beating the Vikings, beating the Seahawks because they're gonna get no wins this year. And then I think this stretch where they play the Cardinals, Raiders, Ravens.
Yeah.
I didn't have them in my calculations beating one of them, but I think they could steal one from one of those games. They're going to beat the Steelers. They're going to lose to the Rams. And I think I had them beating the 49ers because if they have Trey Lance start, I don't know how good they'll be, and then beat the Falcons.
You think they, we'll get to that in a couple of weeks probably, but do you think Jimmy G will start or Trey Lance?
I thought they wanted Jimmy G was going to be gone. I thought they were going to trade him or do something.
Yeah.
And I think they'll beat the Eagles and Panthers.
Where does because Michael Thomas is back? Where does Michael Thomas? I know a lot of people are kind of down on him because he's a little slant guy, but I think he's a top. Especially what he did 2 years ago.
Yeah,
he was top 5.
Yeah, I'd say.
I don't
think he's top 5 right now. Maybe top 15.
It's a very deep position.
Very deep. I think there's a lot of players better than him that are just more explosive, can do what he can do, but also are fast and can do a lot more other things.
And then what are your expectations for Jameis, your boy Winston?
Jameis. I don't know if I like him. He's just funny.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be good. They were 5-2 to start last season before he got hurt. So they obviously played well with him. And they drafted Chris Olave. He's going to help them in the passing game, along with Michael Thomas being back. And who's the guy you said?
Kamara?
Yeah, Kamara and Callaway. So I think their offense will be pretty good if Jameis stays healthy. He has a cannon, and as you saw at Tampa Bay, he can sling it.
Yeah. And
the Saints defense is always pretty good too.
You like Olave?
Unfortunately, he's good.
Yeah.
He was from Ohio State, so I'm not going to cheer for him, but
you think he'll be good?
I think he'll be good. He was electric in college.
An immediate impact guy?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think so.
And Malcolm Jenkins and Marcus Williams, I think they were free agents in the left or signed somewhere else, but they did sign the Honey Badger Tyrann Mathieu, who isn't my personal favorite player in the world, but he's good. And they also signed Marcus May. So they replaced their 2 defensive backs that they lost. And they still have Cam Jordan, who's a stud.
Yeah.
And
Getting older, but still.
yeah,
so.
and their defense is solid. I don't think they'll be as good as they were last year, but
Mhm.
they've been good for a while. Kind of changed how they were. They used to just be offensive
Mhm.
powerhouse, bad defense, and now they're good defense, not as great offense.
Well, there's a team I'm missing that division: Falcons, Bucks, Panthers. So you think they finished second to the Bucks?
Yeah.
It's Falcons and Panthers are pretty bad. I think Kamara's going to have a big season
Yeah.
if he's there. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still confused on that whole.
I
trial.
forgot about that. He finished the Pro Bowl, then it was in Vegas. You know, he had to get a little wild, then got arrested for doing something.
It was some kind of battery charge or something like that. Or I don't even know if he did it. Anything? If they just like it says like something about conspiracy to do it or something.
Oh,
I'm very confused on the whole issue. I thought I could have sworn they had the trial already. I thought I saw 5 years in prison.
Really?
Maybe I had a dream. I don't know.
I don't think so. It was one of your visions.
Yeah.
You saw him in the orange jumpsuit.
Yeah, and that might have been it. But yeah, we agreed on 9 and 8. We agreed on a lot in this episode.
Yeah, except Tim Anderson.
Yeah.
Idiot.
So next episode we'll have second baseman, and then which team you want to do? Panthers, Falcons, Bucks.
Let's do the Falcons.
Falcons next. All right. So second baseman is next. Falcons are next. I guess game 1 of the finals will probably be done.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Yeah. So we'll have that to talk about, some NHL that happened as well. But I guess besides that, we will see you later in the week for episode 25.
See ya.
I always forget about that.